Hi everyone, Jen Holt here at Inspired by Purpose to bring you your pose of the day. So today's pose is called Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. It's a standing pose, so we get to work on strength and a little bit of balance because we're standing. So we're strengthening all the muscles of the lower body, the glutes, the legs, the feet, the ankles. We also get some core strengthening in because we're standing and we're standing tall and we're balancing. Arms get a little bit of strength building because we're reaching out through the arms, though there are other options if that's not for you today. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We'll start by coming to stand. And we'll come in, just the simplest way is just by creating a little bit of distance between the feet. And I'll say this, the distance between the 2 feet is gonna determine how hard you work in this pose. So if you are just starting out, you might not widen out just as far. If you are ready for a little bit more depth today, you can widen the stance out and you can always change it once you're in your pose. Now get your hands on your hips and you're gonna imagine that you are pressing your hips, your back, your shoulders against a wall. If you wanted to, you can even do this pose against a wall just to really feel the alignment. You want a long spine, squeezing the belly in. When you're ready to come into the pose, we'll start by turning the right toes out. So it's just a little rotation through the toes. So the toes are gonna point toward, this would be your left to my right, toes pointing. Back foot is staying right where it is, toes pointing ahead, toes and heels aligned. Try not to allow the toes to go back or come in. That's just gonna help with your balance and your alignment as you come into the pose. Once you've got that, shoulders and hips are still aligned. When you turn the toes out, sometimes that back hip will wanna come forward. So see if you can find that alignment again. Don't force it. If it's not happening in your body today, we just do the best we can. Once you've got that, we're gonna start to find a bend in the front knee. And what you wanna try to avoid is this or this. You wanna try to stack knee over the ankle. And here is right about where you're feeling that the distance between the feet makes a big difference. If you wanna take a wider stance, you can. That's gonna be more challenging. If this feels too wide where you're at, remember you can always heel to that back foot up a little bit. Think about standing really tall, lifting up out of the lower spine. Squeeze the belly in. If you want to work harder, slide that back foot out a little bit. Make sure that the weight is even between the front foot and the back foot. So sometimes once we start bending the front knee, we'll start dumping weight there, and you might even feel your shoulders coming forward. This isn't what we want. We want to keep the shoulders and hips aligned and weight even in the feet. If this feels challenging for you and it's all coming into that front leg, try bringing the back foot up to a wall. So I'm sealing the razor edge of that back foot to the wall, and that's gonna help me carry more weight to that back foot. Pressing the floor away with both feet, standing up tall. If you like, hands can stay on the hips, and this is a great place to be, to notice what's happening with the hips, any rotation. If the hip is drifting forward, you can work on pressing it back. You can also take hands to the heart, resting shoulders down, or you can reach the arms out. You wanna make sure both sides of the neck are long, fingertips are reaching so much that it feels almost as though the shoulders are stretching. Traditionally, the gaze would be forward over the front fingertips, but you could choose to take the gaze forward, or sometimes it's also nice to take the gaze back behind just for a little different stretch on the neck. Now, if you find yourself in a chair during the day, you can also do this pose as a little pick-me-up throughout the day, and your chair variation would be quite simply by stepping a foot out, knee pointed out and away, and reaching up through the arm, lifting up out of the lower spine, squeezing the belly in. If you wanted to create more, you could work on extending the back leg out, just kind of like you do in your standing variation. Reaching out through the fingers, lifting up, both feet are rooted down. Even when you're in your chair, you can stomp the feet down and activate the legs. So it's a nice little pick-me-up throughout the day if you work in a chair during the day, or if you find yourself in a chair for any other reason. So that was our pose of the day, Virabhadrasana, Warrior Two strength building pose. You also probably noticed there's a little hip opening and a glute stretch there. Make sure you take some time on both sides, and remember, both sides are gonna be a little bit different, so just put in the same amount of effort, same amount of time in each side, just to help balance things out. If you have any questions, please drop a comment. We hope to see you in center or online very soon. Thank you.